This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everyone. This gentleman helps people move their lives forward, achieve peak performance. If you're running a company, let's say you're an individual, you want to up your professional game, you feel inside that there's more to attain, but you're not hitting that yet. And you're not really sure why. There are most likely a lot of reasons for it, and we're going to dig into those today. He is unique in that he offers coaching and hypnosis all under his wheelhouse, and that's just some of the modalities that he offers. Stanley O. Young joins us today on the program. Welcome. How are you, sir?
Yeah, pretty good. Thank you.
And it's good to have you back. And I'm curious, what do you hear from people nowadays? What are they telling you in terms of either they're stuck, they're dealing with anxiety or stress? What by and large are you hearing for the most part?
I think for the quite a lot of people, they just feel stress and they don't know how to manage that. But the interesting thing is stress is not totally a bad thing. You cannot just have your life without stress. You need to manage that.
Thank you for saying that, because I think many of us hear that word stress and think, oh, this is bad. And yes, it's been proven that stress does kill. Stress compromise or can compromise your health. However, if we had no stress whatsoever, is it true that we wouldn't have any drive? You know, if you had a football player go on the field, let's say it's a pinnacle game, and they're not feeling any stress, they wouldn't have that, that fuel to push through it.
Yeah. So, in fact, I think that's a very classical picture. They will show you the performance in the stress. In fact, we can get a better performance when we have a higher stress. But when you achieve a critical point, after that, then you just crash. So you need to manage your stress.
Is this something that you teach people really how to do, manage the stress?
Yes, but also it is easy to say, but not easy to do. Because why? How to manage your stress, not only on conscious level, also that always with unconscious level, subconscious level, unless you can able to make yourself to fit with that. Otherwise, that's just only theory.
So I've never heard stress connected to the subconscious. Now I'm intrigued here very, very much more. So how does it connect to our subconscious? And is it those things within our subconscious, placed during childhood and upbringings and things like that, that is really dictating the way that we deal with stress?
Okay, I think, for example, just like a public speaking, why people feel so uncomfortable? Because you're probably your bad experience before, and that one just make you nervous. And in fact, you can try to not to be conscious, not to be too nervous. But why you cannot do that? There's something under your control. It is not on your conscious level. You found that there's something, you just cannot do that.
I've never considered that, but it makes perfect sense. So public speaking, one of the biggest fears people list, top 3 big fears, it's public speaking. Is it reasonable to think that we have that fear because of something in our past? It could have been, you could have been in 3rd grade and you're spelling bee. You're doing the spelling bee and you get nervous and you get tripped up. Maybe somebody makes fun of you. Maybe you sing in front of your parents and they kind of chuckle at you just for fun. But now that's in your subconscious, and now you have that fear of performing, if you will, in front of other people. Is that really why we have that aversion to public speaking?
Yes. I think also another thing we can think about for the musician,
Mm,
when they doing the performance. And unfortunately, I found what's the source of their problem. Because the most musician, when they study, I think they always get a feedback from their teachers.
mm.
Your mistake, your mistake. So every time you just try to prevent the mistake. So that situation, even when you're doing the performance, you still want to do the same thing. So you focus, I don't want to commit any mistakes. So you become so nervous.
Hmm. Yes. That's exactly. I just told a story recently. I'm going to share it with you, but exactly what you are saying. Rod Stewart, right? Amazing performer, so many hit records over the years, right? I interviewed him by phone many years ago, had a new album out, and he had a new wife. So I said, make sure you get the name right. In my mind, make sure you get the name right. Make sure you get the name right. I get him on there. Hi, Rod Stewart. Thanks for being here. Congratulations on the new album. How's Kelly doing? I was wanting to see how his, just being friendly. How's his wife doing? I said his ex-wife's name. He hung up. That was the shortest interview I ever did. It was 38 seconds. But to your point, I was saying to myself, don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up. What did my subconscious do? I messed it up because I was thinking of not wanting to do it. Then invariably you do it. So I see that connection there. Where does this lead? Hypnotherapy, right? This is where we uncover what's going on inside our minds, right?
Right.
Do you make that connection with people when you work with them?
Oh, yes. I think first we want to help them to change their mindset. If your mindset just want to prevent mistakes, in fact, that always will be self-defeated.
Yeah.
And only your mindset, you think you are going to win. Or even you think about the performers. If you focus on even you enjoy yourself and your audience can feel that, right? But if you are nervous and your audience also they are nervous and they are not really enjoy that because they pay and they come to your show. What they want to enjoy. You have a wonderful thing, and even some mistakes. In fact, quite a lot of people they just don't know
Mm.
how to change their mindset. That's the first thing they need to do. If they don't have the right mindset, that will be the problem. So this is how hypnosis we can help.
Is that the best way, in your opinion, to change somebody's mindset, how they view things?
In fact, I will say only you make sure what you want, and also your identity. Sometimes you don't have a, a suitable identity exactly you are. And then you think you just cannot do that well. I think even just like a smoker, um, if you identify yourself as a smoker, then that one you just not able to escape with that. Only you think no, even now I'm not smoking, but this is not my identity. I can change and I can make myself to be what I want. This is how the first we want to work with the mindset of my clients.
It's my understanding that it doesn't work you can't make any change unless you really want to. For example, you talk about smoking. And in terms of hypnosis, probably one of the most popular things that people go to a hypnotherapist for. But if somebody, let's say somebody makes an appointment for their partner or spouse, and that person's a smoker, and they really don't want to smoke, but their other half wants them to stop smoking, but they're not on board for it, it's not going to work, or you're not going to have the full benefit. That's how I understand it. You have to want to make the change.
Yes, correct.
Hmm.
Because hypnosis, it cannot be brainwashed. That
Right.
just help you get what you want.
Let's talk about the misconceptions about hypnotherapy because there are many, and it held me back for quite some time. And once I realized that what I was thinking wasn't true, that's where the change took place. You can't, Stanley, you can't control somebody's mind. You can't pull information, credit cards, social security numbers out of somebody or make them do something that they don't want to do, right?
In fact, no. As a hypnotist, we know our limitation, and of course, we don't. Also, fortunately, that that kind of things won't really happen. Otherwise, people use this hypnosis. It can become for the tool for the crime. But in fact, no. And everybody, we have our freedom. In fact, only you want what you want, then you come to the hypnotist, they can help.
What are some of the things that can help us out with? I mean, we identified one of them being smoking and maybe stress management. What are some of the other things?
For me, I think that quite a lot area we can work on. But for me, I'm most interested for help people to achieve the better performance because I want to see people they succeed. But some that really just try to solve the issues. And I found the most, I must say, it's a pity. Some people, they really have a very good potential. I remember many years ago, I met a marathon runner, and he told me a very funny thing is, in fact, some people, they are very good when they practice, but they just cannot have the best performance when they perform. I think it's a pity, but some people they just can't do this. So we can see the wonderful star there because they always can have the best performance at the right time, right place.
Hmm. What's reasonable in terms of how long it takes for it to work? I've heard having somebody like you for hypnotherapy for smoking, it could be one session. It could be as little as one session. Is that how it could potentially work?
Um, yes, it's possible, but not very often. That depends on if you are able to reinforce that again, automatically. Yes, it can be, but it is not the best practice for us because sometimes you are not sure whether your client they can keep going this. So sometimes we need to have a continue session, make sure how they are doing, and make some adjustment. And the worst thing is some people they probably first time they might just relapse. Then they will very quickly conclude, oh, it doesn't work. But in fact, if you are able to quit, for example, just 3 days, doesn't mean you can do the double, right? 3 days, then you can do the 6 days. Then you can do that. Then you can do the 1 month. Then you can do 1 month. You can do that for 1 year.
How did this all start for you? Your journey into helping people. You've been doing this a long time. This has been your personal quest, your purpose in life to be a lifelong student of personal growth. And again, all different modalities from meditation, mindfulness, right down to hypnotherapy and more. Where did it begin for you, Stanley?
Oh, yes. In fact, as a kid, I came across an ancient essay that talk about how managing your mind is a key to success. And for whatever reason, the idea just stuck with me. And it sparked this deep interest in peak performance and how the mind really shapes our potential. That curiosity led me to explore the things like meditation, martial art, eventually hypnosis. And the more I learn, the more I realize how powerful it is to help others unlock the same potential in themselves. That's what ultimately led me to become a coach and a hypnotist.
What was that moment for you personally where you realized that the benefits of hypnotherapy? Do you remember that moment, way back?
Oh, yes. Especially at the time, first I read everything in the public library. Then later I think, okay, I'd better to get some training. And at that time, my niece stayed with us. And she has a very good academic performance, but also she experienced stress. And I used that. Then I found, okay, it works. That one convinced me it works. Sometimes you read quite a lot, but you still doubt, does it work? Until you use that, then you see how wonderful, how powerful it is.
I had a memory just now in that I suggested hypnotherapy to somebody I'm very close to. And this is after I saw the benefits of it. And this person did about 3 sessions and said, man, it doesn't work. And I know their personality, and I know that they weren't open to the change. I just know. They weren't open to it. And maybe if they continued, they might have been a little more comfortable and such, and then may have seen the results and the benefits. But you really got to want to make the change, or honestly, don't waste your time. It's just not going to work. I would love to touch upon meditation, and maybe next time we get together, even go deeper. But you practice meditation fairly deeply. Am I right in saying that?
Yes. In fact, I started that when I was a kid. My grandfather introduced me that, and also at the time in my culture. In fact, at that moment, at that time I saw quite a lot on the TV program. Something they mentioned meditation. So at the time, I found, oh, that's a cool thing, and I believe it will work. So that's how I start with this.
Wow. Even back then, being so young, I guess because it was part of your culture, but you saw the benefits even that far back.
Yes.
Wow. If you were to go into a meditative state right now, Stanley, how long would it take you to get there?
In fact, in our daily life, you can do only that just 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or 1 hour. And also, I remember many years ago, I visited even a Buddhist scholar, and he told me, because at the time I was in the Air Force, he told me, now what you needed to do, not just close your eye, do the meditation. You needed to be able to do that in every moment. And that, I think this is how so popular we say mindfulness. Keep your mind, and you not only just close your eyes during the meditation. In fact, you make your mind so clear, and you everything so stable. This is what we want in our daily life.
Now, you identified how long you can meditate for, but my intention on that question was, how long does it take to get to that point where I am now meditating? I'm curious for somebody like you that does it on a regular basis, where you've gotten to that spot where, yes, I've connected, I'm there. Typically, how long is it? I'm wondering because I struggle with it.
Yeah. So in fact, I think even this a kind of like hypnosis chance. I won't say that they're the same. No, there's some difference. But one thing, people very often they think be hypnotized or you in a state of meditation. That's just only one level, but it is a different level. You can very light, you can very deep. So that depends on what kind level you achieve.
That said, should you always have an intention when you meditate?
No.
Okay.
In fact, if you try, sometimes even you try, then you cannot. So sometimes that just naturally happen.
I've heard it both ways. I've tried doing it and just get into a meditative state, which I enjoy, getting clarity, being able to think, just connecting. But then there's other times where I had a goal, but I agree with you. People told me, like, yeah, you need to have a goal, focus on a goal that you want to achieve with your meditation. I think I overthink it at that point instead of just clearing my mind and let whatever my mind needs to work on at that time and let it just organically happen, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So in fact, I will suggest for the people that doing the meditation, they will need to do sometimes just like experiment. Sometimes you do that, you try others, and then you later okay, what you can do, and your capability, you can make some adjustment.
You really do offer a lot. I mean, you mentioned before about musicians, but that wasn't an example. You actually help people with performance, whether athlete, musician, quit smoking, as we said, weight loss, and so much more with meditation and other modalities. Stanley, how do we connect with you? Like we're talking now, it can be done virtually. How do we find you?
Okay. People can contact with me. They can visit my website, Winner Minds, WinnerMinds, WINNERMINDS.com. Or they can call my phone number or text me 206-412-5820.
Wonderful. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for validating a lot of the things that I've always wondered about when it comes to meditation and hypnotherapy. And again, the website is winnerminds.com. Great having you on here, Stanley. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.